Hello, hello. How is everybody? I am trying to go live on Instagram too. I think we are here. Go live. Yay. How are you guys tonight? Happy Friday. I just got home. It's been a busy day. I went and cleaned the church and then went to the library and printed off a lot of uh, Forgiving Forward booklets because we are starting a class the beginning of January, Forgiving Forward. And so I had to go do that. That took like 2 hours. And then I almost got in a head-on collision, which was really scary and had me shaken up. And went back to the church, and now I'm home. So long day. So how is everybody tonight? Say hello as you hop on. I'm going to make sure we are live on Facebook. I am Facebook and Instagram. So hello. Thank you for, it looks like I'm frozen on Instagram. I don't know. We'll see. Let me pull it up and see. What are you guys doing tonight? Are you guys ready for, it does not say I'm live. Are you guys ready for Christmas? Drop below. I'd love to know. Yeah, it's not saying I am live on Instagram. But hey, it's okay. We'll work with it. Tonight, I'm going to share my story with you guys. It's been a while since I have shared that, and I feel compelled to say that or share with you tonight. So if I look down, I have some notes or some pinpoints, so that way I don't forget anything. Because it's been a wild ride and I want to share a lot with you. I have a lot of new friends. So hello, I'm Tiffany Conley. If you do not know who I am 37 years old and live in Indiana in the country, and I love it. I have not always been out here. And so I am going to share my story and what got me to where I am today as we sit here. And some of those areas are hard to talk about, and because I've not always been the person that I am today. But God has brought me through every single thing. And as I look back, and I can just give him the glory for everything because he has orchestrated it all, right? When we can sit and reflect. So, growing up, I lived in a home with my sister and my mom. My mom took care of me and my sister, and she worked 3 jobs to try to care for us. And so my sister kind of was my sitter for the most part. But at the same point in time, I was headstrong and didn't really care about discipline or just did my own thing. I was all about just Tiffany and what I could get into next and do and have fun. And I always pushed my mom's buttons, period, point blank. I gave her a run for the money. So if Tiffany could do it, she was going to figure out a way. And that's pretty much how I was in middle school. And I think, a lot of that stemmed from because I didn't care. I would always get made fun of, and so I wanted and looked for that attention. I guess you can say whether it was good or bad, right? And I'm sure a lot of us could agree that we have been down that road, right? Grew up to where we didn't get a whole lot of attention, or we got a lot of bad attention. And so it was just, it's just is what it is. And I feel like at an early age, we shape ourselves and who we are and how we are And so growing up into what I am now, and I still struggle still to this day sometimes with body image and um, I can go in and out of self confidence. But for the most part, I have a really strong confidence as of today. But there's still, different areas that I can struggle with at times. And it all stems back from when I was in middle school and in that early age of, and even back into elementary. Okay. Because let's face it, people were mean. And I have to say that I am so thankful that I grew up in not in today's world, because social media in the kids' era is absolutely horrible. So I could only imagine what my life possibly would have been like in today's world compared to back then when we didn't have smartphones and we didn't have all the social media that is there today, which is why a lot of kids in today's world, we see a lot of suicides in the younger ages, right? Um, and so I looked for attention and in all the wrong ways. And I knew that if I got in trouble, I was going to be grounded for at least a month. But I'm like, it is what it is. My mom was working 3 jobs. I was going to try to do it and not get caught, right? But my mom, she was always catching me doing something. So if you guys are talking, I'm not able to see comments. But still you can register with StreamYard too. So, I lived with my mom. My mom worked 3 jobs and I began to use drugs at a young age as well. I started smoking weed and it was around. It was always there around me. And so I went down that road, which then later on in life in high school, it led into methamphetamines. And I found myself using meth during my junior and senior year of high school, until I watched one of my best friends really, really go downhill. And I was like, we're done. It wasn't good. Right. And so I seen what it was doing in her life and how it was affecting her. And I did not want to go and be in that same situation. And so I removed myself and I was lucky. But I also grew up with, a lot of people that are very close with me or have followed me over in the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been very open and upfront about my father. He, most of my life has been a meth user. And um, I actually put him in rehab. Well, the Lord orchestrated all of that, which is really, really cool. And there's one day that I would love to share that. We haven't actually sat down on his portion and my portion and put it together just to see from both sides of how he really did that. But I know my side of the story and it's incredible. But so I have a history. I have generational. I will say, I had those curses, right? And it makes me so passionate to be able to stop them with me and to lay that to bed. And so, I dabbled in that because I had seen it around me. I grew up. And it was there. I'm lucky to truly, 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 by the grace of God, be where I am today, because it could have went totally different. Okay, it really could have, especially with my child's father, which is still very active in all of that. And I hate it. I hate it. Um, and that's why I also removed and was a single mother, because it just led from one thing to another to another, and I wanted more for my daughter. I knew that it wasn't gonna be good. So I ended up having Haley. I got pregnant with Haley, and was really, really scared because I knew of my situation with her father, and it wasn't the greatest. But at that point, God had other plans, obviously, because I have an incredible daughter. But I knew I didn't want to take care of two kids, and that's what I was looking at. And I had to move in with my mom. And for about 7 months, my mom allowed me to move in with her, get on my feet, get some money, put away, and not really pay anything to live there. But she said, once you're out, you're out. You're not ever coming back. And that was one thing that I love about my mother, is that she would help and she would guide me, but one time. It wasn't, that you can continue to make a mistake and come back and make a mistake and come back. She's like, so I knew that I had to have my stuff, my ducks in a row, because once I was gone, I wasn't coming back. And I think that's why it's really shaped me of who I am today and how I navigate life in today's world, and what has truly brought me where I am today. But what I will say is, I remember getting on housing. I was on every government assistance that could be, and I kind of lived in the ghetto. Not gonna lie, and. I remember I was a correctional officer at a men's prison, and which, a lot of you guys may not know that about me, but I was always wanting to do better, be paid more money just to better my life for Haley. And so, with that being said, I became a correctional officer, and I did that for about 14 months until it literally sucked the life out of me, and I was becoming somebody that I truly wasn't. Because if you have followed me for any time, you know that I have probably the biggest heart ever. And to be someone that has such a huge heart and have to be mean and stern and just evil, to be quite honest, because if you're dealing with inmates, right? It just was not for me. And so I no longer wanted to be a correctional officer. And on top of that, my housing skyrocketed. And I remember always saying that if my rent ever went past $300, where I was at, that I would leave, because it was not worth it in that area. And so I remember having a conversation. I still remember this conversation with my mother today. And she said, Tiffany, I think it's time for you to go and apply for a loan and see if you are approved for a home loan. And I was like, there is no way. No way. And what I did was move out, and I moved in with a friend because, my mom said I couldn't come back. So I moved out of housing and moved in with a friend, and I stacked money for 5 months. In that second month that I moved out, I went and got approved for a loan. And so I knew how much money I would need for a down payment, what I was allotted for, and I started house hunting. I couldn't believe it that I was going to be a homeowner as a single mother, because I never, ever imagined that to be true for me. I found a house and we moved in, and about probably 3 months later, I remember driving home from work, and I had Facebook on, and I got a notification of someone going live and talking about an opportunity. And really, it was about the product that she had, which was makeup. And I was like, I wasn't a makeup person at that point in time. And I was like, I want to try it. It looks super easy. And so I bought the kit, and it was cheaper to get the kit and to just join. And so I stumbled into this industry with just products. And I shared with a few of my friends and my mom, and they loved the makeup and bought it. And I remember that very first paycheck that I got, and it literally could cover my mortgage. And it was like $550. And I was like, holy heck. And then my next check was around $1,000 or something like that. I don't even remember. I remember I was able to pay for my mortgage, and that I was able to pay for my electric bill. And because I remember making a post about that, and I had a few more people join because they wanted to do that too. And at that point in time, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to put makeup on. I was just doing videos, being silly, and sharing what I loved. And before I knew it, I had went to Vegas, and I went to, Mexico, and I was doing very decent in this industry. For being a single mom and never doing anything like network marketing before. And I thought, it was a way to help me pay a couple bills a month. Because let's face it, times were different then than they are now, right? I could only imagine what that would have done for me if we were in this economy in today's world from back then. And so for me, I literally just continued to have fun and continued to share my love for makeup. But then I stumbled across a couple other companies. I went through different companies, and I learned the skills to become better. And I worked on me and worked on my confidence and, leadership and all of that. And what I found was that this was just a incredible way to help people earn money that was in a position that I was. But I have to say, and if I get emotional, please forgive me. Who I am today, I would have never imagined her 8 years ago, ever. Um, I know that I talk about how I can help change people's lives financially and how I can help people change their lives with products. Um, but you know what truly, truly changed my life was the inward work on me and becoming who I am today. Because I'm not I sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, wow, Tiffany, you have came so long, so far from someone that used to get made fun of for being overweight all the time and going into a shell and never being able to stick up for herself to someone leading a team of thousands of people, like, and able to get on lives and social media and showing up as my best self and having that confidence. It's huge, you guys. And I never believed that I would be where I'm at today. And I know that in years to come, it is going to get even better and better and better. But I will say that I am so thankful that I stumbled across this, and it's changed my life. From a single mom to meth user to married now and have an incredible husband that I would never have looked at Rich and felt years ago that I'd be worthy of a man like him. He treats me like a queen. And I mean, it's vice versa, right? That's what marriage is all about. But my Lanta, he is an incredible man, but I always went and picked the men that I had to take care of. I've been abused and But it was because I never felt worthy of a man to lavish me. I remember the first time Rich put gas in my tank, and I didn't know how to even accept that because I was always the one putting and giving and doing and this and that and being taken advantage of. And so when I talk about how this industry can truly change someone's life, it can change someone's life mentally, emotionally, inwardly. It can change your life financially. It can change your life in the health. And just know that every step that you take, you can also help someone else because you can't move forward if you're not reaching back to help someone along the way. And what really fuels me in my fire when I don't want to do my business. I don't want to wake up and do my business because you guys, there's days that I do get in my head. There's days that I'm like, what is really going on? Like, then you look at yourself and you're like, is it me? Is it me? You know? Um, but I look at everyone in my team and it's like I have to show up for her and him and her and her and her because they are counting on me and they can't get it to where they want and their dreams and their visions and their goals if I don't turn around and help pick them up to bring them along their way. Because I have to share how I've come this far. Has it taken me 8 years? Absolutely. But you know what? I have learned so many lessons in those 8 years that has shaped me to who you watch today and who you know today. It didn't happen overnight. And I I'm so ecstatic for the future to come, especially in my business, because to be quite honest, I've never seen anything happening like what we have here today, and the momentum and just the incredible growth that we've had in the last 60 days, literally, where most companies are struggling and lost around 30%. And so I know that, we are coming up on Christmas and we're looking at, it's been a hard year and it has. It's been a hard year in all aspects. It's a lot of new norms, a lot of new going to the grocery store and spending $100 more than what you would have. But the reality is, you guys, is that our paychecks are not growing in corporate world. And if they are, you're only getting $50 or 50 cents to a dollar raise. It's reality, you guys. Whereas I can say, okay, I want $100 raise this week, and I can give myself $100 raise each week. And I can look at you and say, I can help you. Do you need help with the $300 bill in 30 days? Let me help you get there. If you have the drive and the work ethic and all of that, like, let's make it happen. And that's what I love about we're paid weekly. And I am not I don't want to look at someone and promise you the entire world of what you probably look at me as today. But I can tell you that if you have that dream and vision, I can help you get there in a time span, right? If you're willing to work on that. But what I can tell you is I can help you with a bill in 30 days. I can help you look back in 5 months and you won't remember who you were 5 months ago because you're confident. You are just so many different things that you would have never have thought you were or would be. And that's what I love about this industry. Some of my closest, I call family, are here, outside of, my family. And they say, surround yourself with like-minded people and you will become. And so, it's very important to put yourself around people like that. And if you're someone that is literally living paycheck to paycheck or under paycheck to paycheck, and you're wondering how you can make this happen, then it's time that we have a conversation, because I used to be you. I used to be you with so many doubts that I would never be me today. But I can tell you, I am me today because I gave a chance on my life and said, yes, I'm willing to try. And I'm willing to show up every day. And that's what I do. So I hope that my story has maybe spoke to you. Maybe you are the Tiffany 8 years ago. Maybe you're the Tiffany 4 years ago. And you find yourself in a different situation, a different company. Because, I'll be honest. I've been with about 4 companies, 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Same work. And where I'm at today paid so differently. So differently. And the products are so different. And that's what I love. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So if you are someone that is who I used to be, maybe you're stuck and you're looking for a better opportunity, or just keeping your options open, or maybe you're someone that has done incredible things in this industry and hasn't been, and again, stuck. Maybe it's time to take a look and see what I have in my hands that is different than what you have. I'm not going to lock you up and chain you, say you have to do this, but at least take a look. At least see if the option's available for you. And if you're ready to step into 2024 with a massive change and ready to give it to your all and change your world, because I know a year from now, you will look back and say, I'm so grateful and thankful that I watched this live tonight. You will. I promise you. All right, you guys, that is my story. Tiffany Conley, 37 years old, a single mother that struggled her way to a six-figure yearly income, all from her phone, literally, all from my phone. And now I get to do this every day, all day long, and I absolutely love it. I wouldn't say all day long, every day. I have my time with my family, and now I'm doing this ministry, and I have to give God the glory, because He has brought me through everything. And it's not just a coincidence that you've sat here and watched this video tonight. There's a reason why. And maybe we need to have that conversation. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. God bless. And if I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas and spend this time with your family. All right, you guys, love you so much. Goodbye.